for that is your name, I hear.
Well, have you heard, though something hard of hearing, they call me Catherine. Did you talk of me?
You lie in faith, for you are called Plain Kate and Bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the Curse. But Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom, Kate of Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate, for dainties are all Kates. And therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate of my consolation, hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtue spoke of, thy beauty sounded, yet not so deeply as to thee belongs. Myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved? In good time, let him that move you hither remove you hence. I knew at the first you were immovable.
Why, what's immovable?
A joined stool.
Thou hast hit it. Come, sit on me.
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Women are made to bear, and so are you.
No such jade as you of me, you mean?
Alas, good Kate, I will not burden thee, for knowing thee to be but young and light.
Too light for such a swain as you to catch, and yet as heavy as my weight should be.
Should buzz.
Well ta'en and like a buzzard.
Oh, slow-winged turtle, shall a buzzard take thee?
Aye, for a turtle, as he takes a buzzard.
Come, you wasp, in faith you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy, then, is to pluck it out.
Ooh, if the fool could find where it lies.
Why, who knows not where a wasp doth wear his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tails, and so farewell.
What, with my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again, good Kate, I am a gentleman.
That I'll try.
I swear I'll cuff you if you strike again.
So may you lose your arms, and if you have no arms, then you are no gentleman, then no arms.
A herald, Kate? Oh, put me in thy books.
What is your crest, a coxcomb?
A combless cock, so Kate will be my hen.
No cock of mine, you crow too like a craven.
Now come, Kate, come. You must not look so sour.
It is my fashion when I see a crab.
Why, here's no crab, and therefore look not so sour.
There is.
Then show it me.
An eyeglass, I would.
What, you mean my face?
Well aimed of such a young one.
Now, by St. George, I am too young for you.
And yet you were withered.
'Tis with cares.
I care not.
Nay, hear you, Kate, in sooth, you skate me not so.
I chafe you if I tarry, let me go.
No, not a whit. I find you passing gentle. 'Twas told me you were rough and coy and sullen, and now I find report a very liar, for thou art pleasant, gamesome, passing courteous, but slow in speech, yet sweet as springtime flowers. Thou cannot frown, thou canst not look askance, nor bite the lip of angry as angry wenches will, nor hast thou pleasure to be cross in talk, but thou with mildness entertainest thy wooers, with gentle conference soft and affable. Why does the world report that Kate doth limp? Oh, slanderous world! Kate, like the hazel twig, is straight and slender and brown in hue as hazelnuts, and sweeter than thy kernels. Oh, let me see thee walk. Thou dost not halt.
Go, fool, with whom thou keepst command.
Did ever Diane so become a grove as Kate this chamber with her princely gait? Oh, thou be Diane, and let her be Kate, and let Kate be chaste, and Diane be sportful.
Where did you study all this goodly speech?
It is extempore, from my mother wit.
A witty mother, witless as her son.
Am I not wise?
Yes, keep you warm.
Marry, so I mean, sweet Catherine, in thy bed, and therefore, setting all this chat aside, thus, in plain terms, your father has consented that you will become my wife, your dowry agreed on, and will you, nill you, I will marry you. Now, Kate, I am a husband for your turn, for by this light, whereby I see thy beauty that doth make me like thee well, thou must be married to no man but me. For I am born to tame you, Kate, and bring you from a wild Kate to a Kate conformable as other household Kates. Here comes your father. Never make denial. I must and will have Catherine to my wife.
Welcome to the Globe Theater. Now it's time for your favorite part of the show, a breakdown of the scene you just watched. Please welcome Professor Tybalt and Portia will comment on this keen performance from two Tony winning actors.
Hello, Professor Tybalt. How are you this evening?
So good to see you, Portia. The last time I saw you was on the QE2 after we went to America to watch Hamlet.
Yes, the transatlantic crossing.
It was beautiful.
Third day.
I say, what did you think of this scene? I thought it was, I don't know, stellar. I got goosebumps. I laughed. I cried. I didn't know what to do.
It was fantastic.
It's no wonder they're Tony winners, isn't it?
No wonder indeed. They're just so in tune.
I think what I liked most was how you really got the feeling that Petruchio really must have thought Kate was quite fantastic. Right before the scene begins, as you recall, he mentions that he is going to do the opposite of what she expects and what she does, and by gum, he does it.
And that's so true, and she, actually, is not terribly put off by that. Which is interesting for Kate, because previously she's told people she's going to comb their noodles like a three-legged stool, and this time she sort of enjoys the little interplay between the two, and doesn't actually harm him too much when she hits him, just a little.
And I suppose as a modern woman, Portia, you enjoyed the fact that for once there was a man speaking to her and flirting with her rather than speaking about her and reprimanding her as all the other men in the play have done so far.
Yes, Tybalt. And you see the language is so different. Previously, she's only been referred to as a devil and a harlot and a whore in other, terms. And this time, yes, she is referred to as various different types of animals, but it's all in a sort of interesting, funny wordplay.
And I believe he calls her beautiful about 4 or 5 times. He compares it to a hazelnut, for heaven's sakes.
And a hazelnut, what is not more beautiful than that?
I do not know.
And she actually likes it. You can tell, because if she didn't like it, she would probably throw him out the window.
I do believe so, and with her little slap, it is just merely, you must think that it's merely maybe a little love tap.
Yes, and it's interesting to note as well, this is the only time in the entire play in which either one of them are physical with each other.
Good observation, Portia.
And yet such sparks fly when she hits him with her arm. Her hand. It's fantastic.
I thought it was very believable. Again, no wonder they've won Tonys. It's just quite lovely.
No wonder indeed, but really we have to give credit to the master William Shakespeare here, because he writes this scene in such a way that when performed well, as we just saw, it just really shows the sexual tension between these two, which we as Shakespeare's audience would really have understood, and understood why the two eventually end up in a romantic relationship.
Can you imagine the groundlings at the Globe Theatre back in the day? Oh my goodness, they would have had to pick themselves off the muddy ground, brush themselves off, and hope that they didn't miss a line. It was so quick and with a witty repartee or persiflage, if you will.
Persiflage.
I just think it's lovely.
So why do you think, Tybalt, that Petruchio compares Katerina to all these Kates in his opening introduction?
Well, I wonder. It makes me think that he's been thinking of her a lot, that he's made all these observations and these connections, and also that he wants to play with her name and toy with her and make puns, that it shows how clever and bright and smart he is, which I think is also very true, which may be part of the reason why Kate enjoys bantering with him so.
That's true. I mean, we see from the very get-go that she is much smarter than her sister, and much smarter than all the people she's around. And then when he is able to make these quick puns, one right after another in rapid succession, she's immediately taken in just a bit.
I would agree, and it continues that theme of, that appearances are deceiving, that she is not what she appears to everyone else once she has met her match in wit and wisdom with Petruchio. And he, when he has heard about her, when she realizes that she is in fact beautiful and fiery, and comments that what does it say right before they meet? He says, I love her 10 times more than ever I did. Oh, how I long to have some chat with her. And so he does. He chats her right up, does he not?
Yes, and he has chat with her, not about her. I think it's still...
Oh.
His chat with her and not about her, like, for example, when Hortensio and Gremio are saying things about her, like, that she... she's to Carter rather. She's too rough for me, and she's standing right there. It's as if she's not even worthy of conversation. Whereas Petruchio, on the other hand, really, really does enjoy a chat with her.
Yes, and unlike her father, who wants to treat her like she's chattel and sell her off, he truly seems to want to marry her by the time the scene is done. Even though we know that at first she is a prize to be won, it seems as though by the end she's a prize he wants to win, which I think is a subtle difference, but it's a difference nonetheless.
That's true, and he wants to win her for various reasons. Many of them have to do with, a certain physical aspect, as we find out several times when he invites her to sit on him, when he talks about keeping himself warm in her bed, when he makes references to his tongue in her tail. These are very thinly veiled sexual references, Tybalt.
Oh, yes. Again, I think the Groundlings would have just loved this scene, because everyone, loves a good ribald joke, if you know what I mean, Portia. Even though we're highbrow, we don't stoop. We don't stop stooping in the mud, as it were.
Oh no, we don't. And those actors wouldn't have wanted fruit and vegetables thrown at them, so they wanted to throw in a good body joke for the Groundlings. But you also really do see how these two are immediately attracted to each other, and really, as Shakespeare's audience, we would have believed that was the case, and we would have believed in love at first sight. And so some of this resistance that Catherine puts up is really a facade as far as keeping up appearances go, as you were just discussing, Tybalt.
And I think it's interesting to note at the end how she's almost struck dumb, that she does not make hardly any comments at the end when she looks askance and looks offended that her father has done this behind her back, but she doesn't haul off and pop him one. She doesn't walk off in a huff. She doesn't start to argue with him. She just listens, and it's almost as if you wonder, is she so taken aback that she's just without speech, or is she kind of thinking, I do want to be married, and he seems like a chap that I might be able to love, and let's give it a go.
Well, and give it a go they do, and you will have to find out what happens in the rest of the play, wouldn't you, Tybalt?
Yes, you would, and it's a lovely, lovely performance by these Tony Award-winning actors. I can't mention that enough, because his performance was, like I said, I cried, I wept, I laughed, I didn't know really what to do with myself. The goosebumps are still on my arms, as it were.
Oh, right you are, Tybalt, right you are.
Well, I can't wait till I meet you again at the After the Globe session next week, when we'll be performing Troilus and Cressida, the tragic love affair, but ever so remarkable from Mr. Shakespeare.
Oh, and I just can't wait for Titus either. Titus will be fantastic.
Oh, Titus Andronicus. Titus.
Oh, the eyeballs, the blood. Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
It's beautiful.
Until next time, dear Tybalt and dear audience.
It was lovely to see you. Mwah.
Thank you, sir.
Looking beautiful as always, Portia.
Thank you so much.